previous reminder that this project was highly inspired by Crash Course. Hi everyone, welcome back to Dash Course with Destiny. Today we'll be learning about an artifact, a Queen Mother's pendant mask. Let's start off with some background info, shall we? The pendant mask is believed to have been produced in the early 16th century for the Oba Isiji, the king of Benin, to honor his mother Idia. In the early 16th century, Isiji ruled over the Benin Empire of the Edo peoples as its Oba, or better known as its ruler. He rose to power as the Portuguese explorers first made contact with the empire. Trade and diplomacy with Europe brought Isiji and the Edo prosperity and regional influence, as the empires traded pepper, ivory, local textiles, and slaves in exchange for brass, cloth, coral beads, and mercenaries for protection. During his rule, Isiji partook in two major conflicts. First, he fought his half-brother in a protracted civil war over the line of succession that would crown him as Oba. And secondly, Isiji triumphantly defended against an invasion from the northern Ila kingdom along with capturing their leader. Isiji rewarded his key political advisor during this time, his mother Idia, with the title of Iyoba, meaning the position of Queen Mother. The title of Iyoba is given to the woman who bears the Oba's first son. The contents of the mask, shall we? The mask was carved to show a naturalistic face. The four carved sacrificial marks show a number associated with females, indicating her gender. And the rims of the eyes enhance the Queen Mother's authoritative gaze. The two vertical dips on her forehead were also inset with iron, and they suggest her inner strength. Go woman. She is portrayed to be wearing a choker of coral beads, and her hair is designed in an elegant shape with tight knots that mirror a crown or a tiara of some sort. The crown-like figure atop of her head and the collar below her chin are carved to depict mudfish and bearded face of Portuguese men. The delicate mask is mainly carved from ivory. In Benin, ivory is related to the color white, the symbol of ritual purity that is associated with Olokun, the god of the sea. Olokun is the religious equivalent of the Oba, and ivory is a fundamental point connecting the two. Okay, class, now we'll be covering the creator's point of view. Yay! The creator of the mask sculpted the facial features to display the ideal female face. The artist conveys the figures above her head, the mudfish, as a divine symbol, signifying the king's dual nature as human and godly, because they can live on both land and water. Pretty impressive if you ask me. The other figures atop her head, the Portuguese traders, were there to show how they were considered occupants of the spirit realm who attracted wealth and power to the Oba. The lines atop her head were made as marks of beauty to exaggerate her ethereal appearance to the audience or whoever were to see the mask. Alrighty, moving on to artifact form. The mask is a tainted white with slight cracks and chips on its exterior. It stands at a height of 24.50 centimeters with a width of 12.50 centimeters and a depth of 6 centimeters. Let's go into the artifact style now, shall we? The face was softly molded to portray realistic features with delicate curves that accentuated the oval shape of the head. There are intricately carved openwork designs using southern Nigerian styles. Now, what technique was used to make this mask? A majority of this mask is made using a carving technique. Carving is when you cut or chip away at a material slowly to create a design shape. The other technique used to create this mask is called inlay, a decorative technique used to create a design, pattern, or scene by embedding different materials onto a surface, as the iron inlays for the eyes or such. Alright, let's get into the medium. What was used to make this mask? What's in the mask? All the above. Alright, the materials used to produce this mask includes of elephant ivory. That comes from the tusk of elephants, iron, and copper alloy. Now, you might be wondering, what was the use of this mask? What was its purpose? Why would anybody want this? Well, was it just some home decor for him, or was it like a little fancy piece of jewelry, interior design? Well, no. The purpose and use of this mask. This type of mask was worn by the Oba on the hip during important ceremonies and rituals to expel bad and harmful spirits. However, this mask was most likely worn as a pendant by her son Isiji instead of a mask. The two suspension loops on the side of the mask suggest that. The pendant was worn by the king as a protective amulet on his ceremonial dress. And all that we know the purpose of the mask, but where is it now? What is it doing today? Where is it in this wide, wide world? Well, the legacy of the mask. The mask symbolizes the legacy of a dynasty that continues till present day and now has become the face for Benin art. Today, similar pendants are worn at annual ceremonies of spiritual renewal and purification, and the original can be found at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Well, you might be wondering, or not, did this mask have any influence at all, or was it just a piece of ivory laying around to be used at a certain ceremony or two? Well, next we'll be covering its influence on a concept, idea, or a culture. Representation of women is rare in Benin art, though the status of Idia, known to Edo tradition as the only woman who went to war, was an exception, of course. This regalia showed the impact of Idia as a woman and what she did. This was a major start for women recognition in Benin. Really showed her power and how much she cared for her son and her kingdom, huh? Well, one more time, thank you class for tuning in on this week's Dash course. We appreciate you very much. My name's Destiny Tran, well, better known on the internet as my alter ego, Joanna Greener.